So right now I am at the legendary Bowlers Exhibition Centre, Bowlers Arena as it's known, where it is the home of the Manchester Adored Festivals, a great set of festivals that take place over the north through summer, and it all kicks off in March with the amazing Manchester Adored Festival, which is here at Bowlers. It's an iconic event. It's been going for a few years now, features the best in tribute bands, the best in DJs, and it's just a great event. I love coming hosting it, DJing at it. It's a real pleasure to be part of it. And I'm delighted to say I'm joined now by the man behind the full thing, Colderley. Si, how are you doing?
I'm good, mate. Yeah, good, really good, pal. Just getting ready for a busy another year. Yeah, definitely.
I think most people that listen to this now, if they've not been to an Adored event, they'll be familiar with them. They will have seen them advertised. Let's start, first of all, before we talk about Adored, with the venue. Bowlers, what an iconic venue. Tell us about the history of it.
Yeah, massive history. I mean, obviously, we've owned the venue for over 20 years, been putting events in here for over 30 years now. I think it was a sports centre, so it was an indoor cricket centre, and it become quite legendary in the early to late 90s with the raves, basically, with the old school raves. Carl Cox had played here, that kind of stuff, and then we bought the building in 2001 and we run our computer markets out of here. That was our main business, and that evolved into doing all kinds of events. So we've been doing events and music events here and conferences and sporting events and exhibitions. We're literally 52 weeks of the year.
When would you say it started that you thought, right, let's do something with the Manchester bands, let's do the Manchester Adored Festivals? Where did that idea come from?
When I was growing up and when I was 18, 19, it was all round the point of the Hacienda, Bowlers, Stone Roses, Happy Mondays. So my background in music, or my love and passion of music, was always round those bands. So it's quite easy to build an event that you're passionate about, because you build it as though you're a customer. So you kind of build it as though you want to hear those music, that DJs, and it's easy because you're almost looking through the eyes of a customer. So you can build an event on your passion and your love, and hopefully with the experience you've got in events, that then filters out to the customers come in, and you're almost running an event with a passion of being a customer. So that's pretty much what we did. And obviously a lot of these bands don't exist anymore, or they're not together, they have reformed, but we put together something where you can come and listen to really good musicians putting on the love of their music and doing that. So that's what we basically do, and put it all together and package it with 4 different arenas, and it works. It just really does work.
When you first did it, were you surprised at the huge success that it was and it's remained?
Yeah, I think when you do any event, you start off with an idea, so the concept is there, then you've got to sell it, and then you've got to deliver it. The idea was always right, and we always knew it was right. Obviously, to sell it then becomes the hard bit, because you've got to get it out there, you've got to graft it, you've got to make sure that people know, put a decent price point so it's affordable for everybody. And then one of the biggest things is then deliver it. So you've got to make sure that you put in quality tribute bands, you're giving good production, all your bar services really well, and people come and they have a good time. And we've managed over the past 4 or 5 years to try and deliver on them, because people are coming in year in, year back.
I work on a lot of similar events to this, and Manchester Adored and what we do at Bowlers and everywhere else really do stand out above the rest because of, like you say, the production and that goes on. For someone who perhaps hasn't been to a Manchester Adored event, how would you describe it to them?
So basically, I would say it's an indoor festival. So we've got 4 arenas. So you can go into our main arena, which is live bands, Stone Roses, Arctic Monkeys, Killers, Smiths. So it's all tribute bands, hosted by your good self. Really good atmosphere in there. And then you can walk through to one of our other arenas, which is the Acid House Arena, which is literally like being in a rave. We've got headlining Todd Terry this time, we've got Graham Park in there, Paul Taylor, K-Class, Daz from 808 State. So you're walking from a live band arena into an Acid House arena. Then we've got a Guilty Pleasures arena, which is 80s anthems. So if you went out partying in the 90s, you grew up at school listening to 80s music. That's fact. So if you're a customer that likes the main arena with all them tribute bands, you'll have listened to bands like Simple Minds, Duran Duran. That'll be part of you growing up. You'll be stepping back. It's not almost cool to like those bands, but everyone sings along with them. So that arena is always packed. And then we have a beer emporium arena. So we set it out like a German beer emporium, where we have acoustic bands bands on there, good sing-along bands where everyone gets on the table, swills the beer around, have a good sing-song to anthems in there, and it just works because you go into almost 4 separate events and you can just go between arena and arena and arena depending on what's on.
It's very much, like you say, an experience. We're going to talk about the one that's coming up in a few weeks' time here at Bowlers shortly, but you started these events, like you say, a few years ago. Within a couple, you'd invented, if I may say, the Adored brand, the Adored events and Manchester Adored, and you decided to start taking them on the road. There's roughly 10, 12 now take place every year. Tell us why you decided to take them further afield and the story with them.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it was just prior to COVID, and I had a couple of people that I knew that worked on the committee at Tameside Cricket Club, and they wanted to put something. They saw what we did down at Bowlers with Manchester Adored, and they wanted to do something for their club to raise funds for their club. We'd agreed to do something up there, and then COVID hit, and then when we come out of COVID, we were mad busy down at Bowlers. Everyone wanted to put events on. The first weekend back, I think we had about 8 events on. And the guys from Tameside were chasing me saying, look, can we do something? Can we do something? And if I'm honest, we were too busy. And I agreed to do it. If I use the word reluctantly, that sounds horrible, but we were too busy at the time, but we agreed to do it. We did it at Tameside, and it sold out within 4 days at Tameside. And then we delivered the event, and before you knew it, there was other clubs that were contacting us. They'd seen what we'd done down at Tameside. Slightly different. It was a family-orientated event there, so you could bring your kids. It was a 12 o'clock lunchtime till 9:30 in the evening. Real family festival, but we kept the elements of Adored in there and brought the standards that we'd set down at Bowlers. We'd brought literally to an outdoor festival. And it worked really well. So we had other clubs that were approaching us and said, look, can you do the same here? Because these clubs are, the committee ran, they're all run by funds that are self-funding, and this gives an opportunity for the clubs to make really good money and puts it back into local sports and local communities. So we're now roughly doing about 8 or 9 of those a year. And yeah, it's kind of exploded, and they've sold really well, and long may it continue.
We've got a busy year of Adored events this year. Going forward, it's yourself and Jade that run these events. What are the plans for Adored for the future?
Myself and my daughter Jade, we do run these events, and we have a huge team behind us. So it's not just us two. We do the driving about it, but the driving force behind it. But we have a massive amount from people, bar staff, security, production people, cleaners, everybody that gets involved with these comes together, and it's like it sounds a bit cliche, but it is a massive team that do that. And we plan to continuously open more and more, and then hopefully get round to as many areas of the UK as we possibly can doing this.
For me, the first Adored of the year at Bowlers, which takes place here where we are now in a few weeks' time, is always a special one, because myself working on these events, all the bands, we sort of don't see each other over winter, and then it's sort of like we all look forward to getting back together for March. So we're going to talk about that in a minute, but if people want more information about Adored, not just like the one that's going on at Bowlers, but other ones, where's the best place to look and get tickets from?
So we have a website, so adoredevents.co.uk. You can go on there, it's got all the ticket information and all the places we do. Adored Events on Facebook or Instagram, we always put everything on there, so you can get in touch with us, or you can see where all our events are. You can buy tickets on there. March is obviously the first one back for the season, as you say. Saturday the 23rd of March, we're back. Manchester Adored is back at Bowlers, 4 arenas. We've got Manny from the Stone Roses, who has agreed to come and do headline DJ set, and then we've got all the usual Stone Roses tributes, Oasis tributes, Smiths, Killers, Kasabian, all those tribute bands, and then in the Acid House Arena we've got some legends of house music. We've got Todd Terry headlining, Graham Park's back with us again, who's absolutely amazing at Manchester Adored. He's played it a couple of times with us. We've got Paul Taylor, retro brand owner Paul Taylor, who is amazing and has played Manchester Adored a few times. K-Class as well, they'll be there again. We're looking forward to it. Tickets are selling really well. and we're looking forward to another busy event. Yeah.
As we said at the beginning of the interview, and I can speak from experience, is that it's a real pleasure DJing and hosting these events. There's nowhere like them. They are unique. They are events, they're occasions, they're days out. And the first one, as you just say, takes place of the year here at Bowlers on Saturday the 23rd of March. Just remind us once again, people do want tickets for it. Where's the best place to head?
Best place to head is Skiddle. So if you can go onto Skiddle, we're exclusive for tickets on Skiddle. Just type Manchester Adored into Skiddle and it will come up. VIP's sold out there. We're down to the last kind of amount of standard tickets on there. So yeah, if you want your tickets, it's definitely an event that people tend to come back to year in, year out. And second generation, you've got people that are the older generation that experience and probably were there first time round with the Happy Mondays, but then they're bringing their kids who are now in the 20s. So when I look at, we always video the events afterwards for promo, and when I look at the demographic of age on there, it amazes me how many younger people are in there and how many older people are in there. And it just works. It creates a really friendly, happy environment in there. And yeah, production side, we go all out with production. CO2, confetti cannons, massive video walls. So we spend a fortune on that to make sure we deliver a really good event.
It is an event, it is an occasion. If you've been before, you'll know exactly what we're talking about, and I'm pretty sure you'll be coming in March. If you've never been to an Adored event before, a Manchester Adored at Bowlers, you do need to experience it. Saturday the 23rd of March, Bowlers Arena, Manchester Adored, the first one of the season. As Si said, we can't wait for it. Get your tickets now on Skiddle, and we'll see you here. Si Colderley from Adored Events, thank you.
Thanks, mate. See you on the 23rd.